All right, how we doing? Good. All right, so obviously, busy day for us here. All right, working on the red area, getting ready to go. But meetings are good. Kind of grinding away, getting ready for a long trip. Got to head up to the West Coast here tomorrow and get ready to go. I think the more we watch the Raiders and dive into them through the course of the week. The two areas, third down, which we worked on yesterday, and red zone, which obviously we're going to get to today, just highly, highly efficient here on offense. Their quarterback's playing phenomenal in these two areas. Carr's getting the ball out quick. They're running the ball extremely well in the red area. So two very important situational parts of the field that we're going to have to defend defensively here in order to have a chance in the game. Offensively, same thing, a lot of different looks, disguises, blitzes, pressure looks. They can bring everybody in these situations. They'll drop into coverage. So really just they'll run the gamut. So a lot of work to be done here today. We're excited to get on the field and, have a good tempoed practice and get on and off and be ready to go, travel tomorrow. So it's really about it, just about work today.
Getting the ball out quick. I think it's 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
The fastest in the NFL. What are the challenges when an offense does it that presents a team? Pass rush, and how do you sort of try to combat that, I guess?
Yeah, frustrates the pass rush, I would say, first and foremost. I think that's one of the reasons that, they have that game. I would say one of the things they did last week that was different that they haven't really done, which obviously will, play in probably a little bit more this week is they took those chances downfield too. So ball's still coming out quick, but a little bit more of the shots on the outsides, get the ball out fast, but now you got big plays on top of it. So it's not necessarily everything underneath. It's the vertical pass game in there. Zay Jones is someone that I anticipate, really having a bigger role with some of that too, with his speed, his ability to kind of run those overs and those 9 routes and get downfield. Like we talked about all week, Waller's doing a great job. They run a lot of, call them double moves down in that area too, where, they'll kind of give a little bit of a fake on the short route and then roll it, deep into the end zone. So just the pass rush has got to be a particular way because that really, changes how we do things with the ball coming out fast. And the coverage has to be, tight if you're in man. And then obviously if you're in zone, being ready to read the quarterback and break. So just a lot of issues there as far as that's concerned.
I think we all understand the hard work it goes into sticking around in this league for a while. You've been around Danny Amendola a couple different stops. Can you just, I guess, share what he does that kind of goes above and beyond what some veteran players do that allows him to succeed for this long?
Yeah. Danny, obviously, great guy, tremendous guy, unbelievable work ethic, unbelievable approach every single day in the building from a standpoint of just, he's one of those guys that came into the league maybe not in the highlighted version and grinds it out every single day like he still has that chip, and I think that's the edge that he has. I think that's something that he does every single day. He's worked himself with that sort of approach into just being that's his professional way that he handles every single week. He's very competitive. He's very, hard on himself, to be able to go out and perform and execute at a high level every single play, and just has that drive every single day to be the best player that he can be. So, you love to see that. You love to coach it. You love to be around it. It's contagious, and it's worked for him.
View themselves as lead by example guys, but is he one of those guys where you can actually see his work ethic rubbing off on other guys in the building?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the whole the leadership thing. I think for us, everyone's a leader. Everyone's a leader from that aspect of it. Everyone, if they come in every single day and they're consistent, they do what they're supposed to do. There's leadership in all of that. He's certainly one of those guys that, as you watch him work, you say to yourself, okay, hey, I understand the standard that he's gonna put out there. I'm gonna match that or beat it or whatever it is. And that's the competitive part of it that I think takes over from that aspect of it when you have guys like that on the team.
How does Trey Carson obviously got hurt yesterday based off the injury report? How does that maybe change what you guys are able to do on Sunday, or do you anticipate him being out there on Sunday?
Yeah, he's going to be out there today. We'll see what it looks like from that aspect of it, and we just keep pushing forward. We're always, ready for players, whether they can or cannot play, and, we'll see. It's a day-by-day thing, really, for us. We'll see what it looks like today.
Coach, how much more difficult is it in the league to defend a team when they get production from the tight end, production from the running back? They got a couple of big shots down the field that are very bad this game.
Yeah, I do think it's really, I think that's one of the more difficult things to defend against, with the tight ends and the running backs, and especially when you get towards the red area, those, just in general football, those players become a bigger part of the offense, and when they're as dynamic as they are, with the Raiders offense, it becomes, just that much more complicated from a schematic standpoint to try to handle those guys. So, especially when they do both, they'll be active in the run game and the pass game, so they're really, they take that flexibility of the position, and they use it really well to their advantage in both those situations. So it does complicate things.
Sort of building off that, you have a quarterback who's been really good off play action, and Carr's been good in that area too this year. Is it, I guess, just in general, whether because of the way the offenses have changed around the league or the way the rules have changed, is it harder to defend play action now than it used to be?
I would say, I don't know if it's harder, but I would say the schemes are just, they've gotten a lot better with some of that stuff. I think the play action game is not as, I don't want to say simplistic, but just is not as basic as maybe it used to be, with two backs in the backfield, quarterback up under center, everybody coming downhill, get a good read on the offensive line. I think the O-lines are coached up better to give a better read on that stuff. I think the backfield sets are much different now. The quarterback's in the gun. There's a lot more gun runs with that. So now the play action game off of the, quarterback in the gun is really hard from that aspect of it, because there's just more space involved in the play entirely, as opposed to everybody kind of being down in there really tight. And I think that there's just a lot more with teams, especially like the Raiders. There's just a lot more distraction that goes involved with the with the play action game. It's combined with the run game. So a lot of the horizontal maybe shifts, motions, formationing, things like that maybe eye distractions are now incorporated in the play action game. So it's an eye discipline thing.
Any more questions? Tracy Walker, will you be out of practice?
I'm sorry, Tracy will not be at practice today.
So what does, again, we've seen your safeties, but there's just not a lot of depth there right now, I guess, if you can't play.
Sure.
I don't know how much of a concern would that be?
For us, we're always ready to adjust based on, whoever's out there. Sometimes safety depth isn't necessarily just from the safeties. So, in those situations, we do what we can to kind of overlap those situations if he, if he can't play, but we'll see as we go here and see how he feels through the course of today and tomorrow.
So, Matt, what's your overall impression of the tight end unit for this offense?
For ours or for the Raiders? Our tight ends? I think it's one of our, one of the rooms that I really enjoy a lot. Those guys are great. They work really hard. They're all kind of interchangeable. I tease them a little bit once in a while because they're kind of like all, brothers in there, and they're on each other. They're just a fun group from that aspect of it. I would say they work really hard. They're very serious about their job. I think they all grind it out together. They all have roles that overlap from that aspect of it, and I think when you have good tight ends or you have multiple tight ends, they're an intricate part of your offense. Production for us isn't based on individuals. It's not based on position groups. It's based on production overall of the offense. So depending on what game it is, what situation it is, what we're looking to try to accomplish based on maybe what the defense is doing or gives us. And certainly I think games come in waves, so if we go out and have a productive game in a certain position, we anticipate that might change in the next couple of weeks, and we got to be ready to move in different directions from that aspect of it. So maybe one of the reasons we kind of just always look at trying to stay in front of some of that as it goes.
All right.
Good. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah. Safe travels.